title, you would think one thing, but what I notice in, in the limited press that you're doing and everything you start with, you just look, you had that line in the first album, very happy. You look very happy about your situation right now. So even though it's like Born Sinner, you seem like you're at your most proud and happy and content place career-wise.
Yeah, because Born Sinner, I feel like describes the album. You'll hear it. It's talking about like, I'm happy now because I'm through that and I'm over that. You know what I mean? And you'll hear all of that. You know what I mean on the album, but it describes that time period. You know what I'm saying? Or where I'm at. I don't want you to get Born Sinner and feel like I'm acting like I'm the Undertaker. You know what I mean? Like.
But that's what you do with Spec Up. You're like, I want some skull and bones. I'm gonna wear a leather jacket.
Yeah. But it does describe. It describes life period. I feel like Born Sinner represents all of us in a sense. You know what I mean? But it's that chapter that I promise you. It felt like it was literally times where I feel like, thank God I ain't going through that shit no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thank God. Like, oh, this is what it feels like to be like. You know what I mean? Feeling like myself in more ways than just musically, just as a person. You know what I'm saying?
So what do you think it really was, looking back on it, and how did you survive it?
Just pressure at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Mixed with also not knowing how to navigate through the industry, being like a guinea pig in a sense. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That mixed with the pressure. I just imagine LeBron James for those first, and y'all know everything with me is all sports, basketball related. But I imagine
you like that basketball.
I imagine LeBron James for those first 4 or 5 seasons. He comes in the league and everybody's like, oh, King James, King James. He's like, oh shit, they call me King James. Before he ever even played a game, then he's living up to it. They're like, King James. By the second, third season, they're like, well, King James, where's the ring? And he's like, fuck. And then he's balling his ass off, makes it to the finals, no ring. Now Twitter comes into existence. Everybody's at King James. You ain't got no rings, nigga. And then he's like, fuck. Fuck. Every day they remind him about his hairline and his rings. And it's like, fuck, man. I can't escape this shit. So I say that pressure is, we laugh about it because we're not LeBron James, but that shit is real. Yeah. I could see, because I know what it's like to be in a position, I always look at LeBron differently than the average person. I'm looking at him like, fuck, I know the weight he's dealing with. So when he won that chip, it was like, you know what I mean? So there was a point where, y'all haven't heard the album, but this is how I feel about it. There was a point where I felt like that, like,
but you felt like, but to take even with Sideline Story, I remember that, you shocked the music industry because you actually sold a lot of records the first week. You sold 200,000 or so albums.
218,000 roughly.
But so I go to this thing. So
and they undershipped it, but we're not going to talk about it.
Say it again?
People couldn't buy the album the first couple of days.
Oh yeah, remember that? Yeah, I forgot about that.
When they don't expect you to sell albums, they undership your album.
You know? So you did 217 without
218.
Right. Let's hear about the numbers though. So I hit this thing up and I'm like, yo, let's do a respect cover, let's celebrate, blah blah. I meet with him and he's already like, I mean, you said, you had a great quote. You said to me that you're more proud of the numbers than the actual product. You know what I mean? Of that situation. Right?
Yeah, I say this because there are people out there and probably in here too. I walk through the airport and somebody be like, yo, Cole, I fucking love you. The album is a classic. And then I have to say, yo, thank you, I appreciate it. But in my heart, I know, like, see?
Yo, get that man out of here. Get that guy out of here.
And it's not, maybe it is on purpose. I don't fucking know. But it's definitely the longer route that I be taking.
But what made it different this time? Because I feel like you love this album because you've had more creative control, more freedom to express the music you want. But what, in this case, made it different? Because you still got to play records from our pitch. You still got to play records for Jay-Z. Like, what makes it different this time?
Nah, there's two things to answer you. It's really two separate answers to that. The first difference is, this is the first time
we're gonna point at me all crazy, but it's okay.
It's the first time that I started from scratch with nothing. I had songs in the stash that I'm like, oh, this is for my second album, this is for my third album, and them songs still exist from before, that original stash I told y'all about. But I told myself, no, I'm starting with nothing. Every song that's gonna be on this album is gonna be fresh. I'm not leaning on these old songs. So that's the clear difference between that and the first time. The first time I was still trying to get these old songs, like Lost Ones. The reason why it wasn't on, that Lost Ones could have been on the warm-up. It could have been on Friday Night Lights. I had it for that long, but there was an importance that I placed on that song. I was like, yo, this shit too important to be putting out for free. Like, let me put this shit on my album. You know what I mean? The second difference is what you just said about Mark Pitts and Jay-Z. That was another, not a mistake, but it was something else that I did on the first album that I didn't do here. These guys have incredible advice. Sometimes you talk to Mark and he got stories for everything because he was seen it with Big and he even seen it on the R&B side with Usher. Like he got such an ill perspective that his advice is incredible. Jay-Z, his advice is amazing. It's wisdom. It ain't even advice. It's pure wisdom flowing out of them.
Off their experience.
Off the experience. Jay can tell me a story that parallels with mine. Like, oh, it's like when I was on tour with DMX, blah, blah, blah. And I'll be like, oh, shit. You really went through the same shit that I'm going through. And it's incredible. The difference is, on the first album, me just being so gassed to have a deal, you know what I mean? And like, just, I'm signed to Jay-Z. I wasn't just taking advice. I was looking for approval. You know what I mean? I was, and as an artist, that is the worst thing you could ever do is look for the approval of another person, let alone another artist. You know what I mean? And I feel like I was like always trying, you know what I mean?
Please him, yeah.
That's the difference.
I just made a song, Jay. This is the one.
Yes, you know what I mean? And I'll tell that story too. I'll make sure that story is told because there's a song on the album that I'm gonna make sure everybody knows the story for before they hear it. You know what I mean? But that's the difference. Now it's like I go to Jay-Z for advice because I understand that he has the best advice and the best wisdom. But at the end of the day, I gotta make the decision. You know what I mean? I don't need his approval. If we disagree, we disagree. You know, before it was like, shit, he don't like that line right there. Oh, fuck, what am I gonna change the line? You know what I mean? Yeah. And as an artist, it can't be like that. So just becoming more aware of that and more confident.
What do you think of the speculation? There's always like speculation about your relationship with Jay-Z and, you know, there's no photos of you guys together and like all this crazy shit you hear. Like these conspiracy theories. And I feel like even when you say like, I played the record with Jay-Z, it's almost like people don't want to believe you. Like, why do you think people are so fascinated by their viewpoint of your relationship with each other?
I'm gonna think it's because we're in a day and age where, look what happened. Drake blew the fuck up and it's deserved. The man is talented as shit. But in order to help him, get him to that level, he had Lil Wayne, boom, arm around him. You know what I mean? To help the talent that was already there. Like show his fan, like, look, I got this kid that's crazy. And then even with Big Sean, you got Kanye West on the single. You know what I mean? There's a real thing there. And with Jay, it's not there. So people see that, and they're like, oh, Jay don't even fuck with J. Cole. Well, I'm gonna fuck with J. Cole. You know what I mean?
Nobody put you on Stars Born.
Yeah,
you made nice
No,
watch.
they don't see. But we're talking about the people that are saying these things. Yeah. They don't see that, and they don't understand that. Yo, this man is a businessman. I'm thankful for the opportunity. If I signed to Jimmy Iovine, I don't want Jimmy Iovine in my videos and on my song. I'm just happy for the deal, brother. Like, stay right there. So how can I expect Jay-Z? You know the same for Jay-Z. I'm just grateful for the A, for the deal and the opportunity, and B, for the advice and the real rooting for me that the people don't see. Like, the people don't see that, the real.
But you don't care. It's a private thing, so you don't care about the validation of the people into it.
If that was a point,
you're not Instagramming yourself in a meeting with him.
No. Just play, nah, man. Got Jay-Z in the studio. I'm over there looking real, like, focused. And he's just checking his BlackBerry, but I'm like, yo, he's writing the rhyme of the century right now. Nah, I'm not doing that, man. You know, I don't need the validation. I don't need the world to know. I know.